Previously on Finding Our Rhythm, we explored the deep personal stories and emotional inspirations behind the music. The band has crafted songs that are not only musical expressions, but also intimate revelations of their lives. We follow the band as they release their first song to the public, a moment filled with anticipation and anxiety.
Our decision to do an album, we over 4 years now collectively have written, I would say, 60 or 70 songs. And we hit this wall kind of last spring and we said, listen guys, we're really good at writing songs. We have so much music. We've recorded them in one form or another. They might be just like a rough copy just to make sure we get the idea. And sometimes you have so much to get through as far as songwriting. You might all kind of put down one part, get the song, get a general structure, and then move on to another song. And there were nights we would record 4 or 5 songs in a single night. So when you have 4 or 5 people writing music, a lot of those songs kind of just get dropped and left behind. Being able to decide on something was almost like everybody pick your best 2. Everybody find the 2 songs that right now are speaking to you. And I think to be accountable to ourselves and with this music, we need to at least record them to say we've done it. And I think the natural way to do that was to say, let's put together an album, right? We don't even know how many songs are going to be yet. There can be 60, but I don't know if all the songs are for others to hear. A lot of what we write is just for ourselves. It's self-therapy. We write it to get an emotion out, and then we feel like we're done with that song. I think as we go further ahead, there's more and more songs and stories we want to tell other people, not for the sake of being famous or doing anything other than being able to share our journey. And hopefully in sharing our stories and our journey, that can touch somebody in a way that maybe helps them in theirs. To strike a chord, to bring a softness to somebody who's maybe dealing with a hard thing in their life, to say, man, that person went through that. That person dealt with loss or divorce or tragedy and grief, and if they could heal through this, maybe I can heal through this, right? And we decided last spring to do a show together, and that show was an experiment for us in a lot of ways, saying, do we actually want to play in front of people? Is this something we want to do? It was really neat seeing people live connect with their songs and stories, and Aaron sang his one song, and it was incredible to watch 50, 100 people in a room in complete silence with tears running down their cheeks because of a song and the story that he was telling. And so if we can share those moments with people and it helps them heal and feel better, why wouldn't we? And so for me to push a group in that direction, it was a struggle at first. I don't think any of us felt comfortable doing it. We had a lot of questions and insecurities, of course, but afterwards we said, man, this felt right. Let's do this and make it happen, and we'll see what happens. And so after that show, we ended up saying, okay, that was really cool, but if anybody wants to hear that song again, it's impossible because we don't have any recordings of it, right? So we thought, okay, if there's a meaningful thing, at least we should have a way for people to hear this.
Is it too much dead
or
space?
Or you just have the one and then take these 3 and put the millions.
If this is going to be the main walkway, well, we just have to make sure we leave enough walk space, that's all.
Yeah, or do we want to leave a walkway on that side?
I think this will work. Yeah, that's the other way, is if we had less here, we add them to that end.
You can slide these over.
Like just take away those 2 end chairs, put them over here. And then people have room to walk up that way.
Yeah.
You go grab water or whatever.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Take those
So they don't have to walk all past it.
I'll get it later. Grab one and
You know, like,
2. Okay, we should clean up.
Nobody wants to see that guy who's
inside.
like steps in front of everybody.
Yeah.
That actually works really well.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
So then
Put those over there.
I mean, on a pure tactical level, we were having a lot of fun just doing live shows. But what came out of the live shows is people liked our music, and then you had nowhere to point them to afterwards. Like, oh man, you guys are great. But I guess I can never hear it again because there was nothing on YouTube. There was no songs on Spotify or iTunes. There was no recording of our music anywhere for them to be able to go and listen to again and again, to find us on some platform of media. And so it became very clear to us is that A, we had a lot of fun doing the live shows, even though it was a grind. But B, if we're going to keep doing this as a band, we needed to spend the time on recording music and getting it out there. Both from an evolution of ourselves as musicians, that it was the next step for us to challenge ourselves as musicians, but it was also the next step if we were going to take our music out to the marketplace to share with other people, not just in live shows, but some form of an on-demand format now too, where they could watch it on YouTube, they could listen to it on Spotify or iTunes. It was a necessary next step of evolution for us as a band.
Dude, so good.
What are my thoughts on the next upcoming album? I don't want to do it unless it's done right. It's hard when we're so emotionally tied to the songs that we write. I think sometimes you love everything and you love the people you're doing it with, so you don't want to say anything about other people's songs that you're like, I don't think that's great, but it's just one person's opinion anyway. I don't want to do it unless it's wow, like it needs to be good. I hope it's good. I know everybody else thinks it's good, and I'm that super critical thinker. There are some amazing songs that I don't know if are going to make it to this album that Giselle has written, and Derek's got one, but Giselle's got a few that are unbelievable. And I think we're personally too focused on the stuff that we've already written, because the stuff that we got coming out, it's powerful. It's good stuff.
Thoughts on the upcoming album? I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited to get our music out there. I'm especially excited for the others because they haven't had like an album, or I don't even know if you call it an album, but it's just having our song, like good recordings of a song that we can actually share with our friends and share with people and hopefully connect with people. And yeah, it's a really cool feeling to finally have that, especially after playing music together for so long.
I'm really excited for the upcoming album. There's songs that we've really worked at for a long time and mean something, like they have value to us. I think it's exciting to like kind of get them down finally and then move on to new and bigger and better things. But it was important to me personally, I'm not sure how everyone else feels, but it was really important to me personally to like honor the songs that really we've put a lot of work into and kind of have started us on this whole process. So I'm really excited about it. I think social media is a really useful way to connect with fans and followers and just people who are interested in your music. I think we're all so busy in the band. It's like really hard to be like, yes, we're going to have like a real show, an in-person show on this date and try and get people out. And everyone, in life now their time is valuable. Money is valuable. It's hard to like be like, pay money to come and watch our band play or whatever. So I think the option of social media or, hopefully like YouTube videos going forward and things like that is such a good way to connect with people, and not just here locally, but like around the world. If someone likes a song or like connects with a song, you have that ability to really connect.
All right, are we introducing the first song? So, hi everybody, my name is Giselle. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
All the songs we're doing tonight are originals. You probably may have heard that. This one's called 104. It's about my grandma who lived till 104, and can you imagine being born in 1917 and seeing all the, and then she's like, and who might you be? I'm like, oh my God. So it was like both sad and adorable at the same time. And so this one conversation I had right like 3 days before she passed away, she's trying to fix her hair and we couldn't find a little mirror for her. So I pulled out my phone and I started recording her fixing her hair. And I
think you have to write 100 songs to get one good one. I actually wrote a song about that. Like a funny, goofy thing just for myself. But like, it goes, you gotta write 100 songs till you get one good one. You gotta write 100 songs till you get one good one. One good one, one good one. Gotta write 100 songs. You gotta write 100 songs till you get one good one. So it's just this funny little thing, but it's so true. Like, just like painting, they're not all masterpieces. Not everything you write or make or create. I saw a quote recently and it said something like, the first book you ever write isn't going to be that great. Your first painting you ever make is not going to be that great. Your first song you write is not going to be your best song. But once you've written 100, 200, 1,000, 10,000 hours into the craft makes it good. But the only way to make those good is the fact that you worked through and worked out the kinks of writing a good song. And the only way you got that one good one is because you wrote so many before and trained yourself to write it.
So we recorded a rough version of a song that Giselle wrote for her father called Live Till I Die. And we put it on social media, whatever, and within 24 hours, it had over 3,000 people who had listened to that song. And we thought, 3,000 people, I mean, I don't know. 2,800 could have been my mom. I don't know. But a lot of people had listened to this thing and hopefully we're encouraged in some way, or we're able to grieve in some way, or we're able to be inspired in some way that, maybe they weren't able to until they had heard it. And so we thought, let's just do this and we'll throw it out there and let it be what it is. But we've come this far in this process and so many of the things we've done have happened naturally. And so if it's meant to be, it'll just happen, and whoever needs to hear it will hear it, and we can be content with that. And that's as far as it needs to go. And so I think with that heart, we all decided, let's do it. Let's release an album. So for us, it's a learning process too. I mean, we're now recording our old stuff, our original stuff, and those songs were 40 songs ago. So I don't think it's necessarily our best stuff, or maybe it is, I don't know. But we've certainly grown as musicians together. But for us, it's part of the journey, and learning to do it is just as exciting as releasing the project. For a bunch of old people in their mid-40s who are trying to be musicians, it's as much about just crossing that thing off the list to say, I did this, I accomplished this in my life. It would be really easy to sit in my sweatpants and watch Netflix all day, but I can say, no, I did this. It was effort, it was work, but at the end of the day, it could be something nobody listens to, but I would feel just as fulfilled in having accomplished it. So that, I think, is the heart behind the recording an album.
It's a sparkling Bambino, the highest quality
$9 baby.
$9 bottle.
To celebrate our first single.
Okay. I'm doing it very gently. I'm not doing it in the exciting fashion. No, I might be dared to do. I hate stuff like this. Balloons.
Are we
Well done. Oh my god. He's thinking we should save the wine. We're not all.
Should we do that on the bathroom floor in case it?
I know.
Yeah, the bathroom floor?
It's not shaking up. Okay. Go stand in the shower. Okay.
Make space for Jerry.
I think it's fine.
Oh, we're good.
Nice. Like a pro, since I didn't go crazy.
Celebrating Tuesday.
We did it. It's out of our hands.
It's like 29th or 30th?
Released in
Nobody can hear it yet, but then we've up.
30th.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers, everyone. Huge accomplishment, guys.
And get in there, Aaron.
And the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, to the kids.
Where are the kids? I don't know.
They're running wild.
They're running wild.
Okay, well, challenges to making 104 were certainly a lack of any knowledge whatsoever. Not knowing what I was doing, not knowing the steps involved, navigating the music industry, how to get a song up on iTunes. What does that take? What are the regulations? What quality are they looking for? How do I make it sound like stuff that's out there? How do I record parts over again and adjust levels, and how do people hear music, and how do we all adjust it to kind of the way we like it? Who do we empower to do it? I mean, the list is endless. But at the same time, you just got to do it, or else it's never going to get done.
You know, you look back on it, how many steps it took for us to get where we are. And this is that point where you go, wow, it all started to come together and to gel. You think how many discussions, how many conversations, how many decisions led up to finally pushing the send button to releasing it. And I don't just mean the discussing, the dialogue, and even at times debate about how do we mix this, and was the harmony right in that spot, but just how many times have we sit around for hours and hours and hours here just talking about things? Yeah. Before we found a certain unity about, okay, this is the way we're all okay to walk this way.
My challenge, so as a painter, I'm so used to like creating solo everything. So the challenge with any song, but particularly the one where we're like, this is the one we were releasing, was, okay, I'm letting other people, not letting, but I'm inviting and welcoming other people to create something with me to make it better than what I could just do on my own. So that was like, okay, it's edit and telling myself it's okay, it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be better than just myself doing this particular one or song or whatever. And then a takeaway would be to be so glad that we were willing to believe that we could do it and do it.
I think the biggest challenge to the song was when Giselle brought this really raw piece, and then I added everything that I added. Just challenge was making everybody else feel like they contributed to the song as much as I did. And just the finished product. I think it was just we tried so many different things to every single song, but getting your part that you contribute to be the best that you think you could have, and then getting what you did, to be as perfect as possible.
Biggest challenge for me with 104, I mean, I find generally in the songs, because I'm not like an instrumentalist, I feel like I'm not giving enough, and sometimes I feel challenged to just like feel like I belong in a song at all sometimes.
You belong.
I know, and you guys always make me feel that way. It's like my own whatever, but like that's always a challenge, and especially like to do it and like put it out there and like add something that I hope that you'll love for your song and that everyone will appreciate. Like that's like a mental challenge that I really struggled with, but it was like really exciting when you hear it and it fits, and it's without a piece you notice like what is missing, you know, which was really cool. And just the biggest takeaways is that like Derek has busted his butt to like learn so much and do so much, and everybody has like learned their parts and like created this really cool guitar lines and drum beats, and like everybody does like have their really important parts.
I think the biggest challenge for me as someone who doesn't play on the song was, as it was like the date was approaching and I could see the goals that you all had, and then Derek kept asking the same question over and over. Okay, who's gonna take on working with the distributor? And he's like, because I can't do that, like my hands are full. And then no one had a passion for it, and everyone was like, I don't know, it's like too big, and who's gonna do the website, and who's gonna do, and I just had that feeling. I was like, somebody's gotta do it. So I just,
that was a big next step for the
and then so I just dug into that really picky side of things about getting it all perfect so you don't screw it up, break the rules or the legalities. So
And it was nothing that I knew about. So and then it was really exciting to see how much it helped at just the right time so that you guys could focus on the music. And then by the time we voted on like album art and that all just kind of came together, and then we could just upload it. So, and put all this in order. Yes, to move forward.
I guess for me, it's probably not being a perfectionist. Because I am a perfectionist, it's hard for me to like not nitpick every little thing and just like learning to trust that it's gonna turn out awesome. And it has, and Derek's worked his magic. It's been like to see how far you've come from our first recordings is like I had expectations that it would be pretty good, but you like blew those expectations way out of the water. So thanks, buddy. It's been pretty awesome to see how far that's come, and I think it's gonna just open the door for future songs and how awesome those will sound even this next step. So it's exciting times, and
proud of us as a group, because even though Jared, you said, I can't believe how well you guys get along and how cohesive you are, but we're not always. That's not a big secret. And there's some tensions. Aaron talks about himself all the time. All the time.
All the attention.
Yeah. No, I'm kidding. But you know, it's that whole ideal. I'm kidding. Shut up. I think it's kind of almost rooted in that idea of dissonance, where you have this chord that's maybe off and the key that's a little different and edgy and it doesn't sound quite right, but then when you finally line up and you resolve to that harmonious note or that chord that just sounds beautiful, that chord is more beautiful because of the dissonant chord that came before it. And so when you go through that, when you have these moments and this tension, it's like you push through, you fight through. Even doing 104, there's like this dissonance in getting the final edit out. It was hard. We heard different things, but then we pushed through, wrestled through it. I was so glad for it. I grew because of that, and I think we resolved in this beautiful harmony at the end, right? And if you have these really happy, cheesy songs that are all just happy chords and happy notes and everything, they're forgettable. It's those really cool, powerful, weird songs with those haunting chords that kind of bring you back home to this beautiful ending that I think are the best songs out there. So I think that's what I'm honestly most proud of. We fought through a lot of stuff, you guys. At the end of the day, we can disagree, go through whatever. The relationship's never like part of the argument or the deal. It's always going to be there. It's a thing that we will hold on to, and I think that's what's gotten us to this point. So yeah. I'm proud of that. I think that's what I'm most proud of.
Sit for hours in a little kitchen, talking about our childhood. Things were so different, nothing like they are now. Horse and a buggy, making our own clothes, changing babies, hand washing everything. There were no telephones, there were no TVs, not a lot of anything. Same time, everything, things were so different, nothing like they are now. What would it be like to live to 104? I wish it was a little bit more. What would it be like to live to 104? I wish it was a little bit more. Whenever I had to go, I'd feel bad, but she let me know. I knew her prayers would go a long way for everyone in my family. Grandma always told me to love everybody, to pray for my enemies. What's in front of me? What's in front of me? God, I really was a little bit more.
When you create something and you see how that creation affects people, that's when you know it's ready or not. When I've written a song, the reaction that people get, because I know it's important to me. I know how much it took to get this song to that point. But when I'm playing a song and the room is silent, there's a lot of tears flowing, or that's when I know there's something there. For me personally, that's where it needs to be processed.
You just need some emotion. Again, we see it a lot of times with artists and painters. I tell them, have lots of paints on hand, have lots of canvas on hand, have your stuff set up so you're ready to go. When you do want to create, it's having to set up every time. That's a whole job before you start. But once you have that, then just get in there and do it. As far as like how to put things on like iTunes and record, and we didn't know. You just got to start somewhere.
None of this was ever about the band or about the music. It's always been about the relationships and the friendship. And so it makes it really easy to come back to that and say, yeah, of course we're good. We could let all the music go. The number one thing was the friendship. So sometimes people have different priorities with what they want at different times, right? There was different times where some people wanted to play a live show and others were really either nervous or just like weren't into that. The timing of different things in people's lives, working or not working, and coming to consensus around that. But usually through just talking it out and really hearing where people are at and going with open doors, it's managed to always work itself out. So
I hope you can enjoy this. I hope the music brings you joy and that you can connect to it in some way. Live your best life. That's like something that I'm really trying to like live to the boundaries of my life. I think of it as like a coloring sheet, and like if you're not coloring right to the line, you're not like doing it right. So I would just say like really try and live your life. Find things that bring you joy, and that's what music has done for me. And I just hope that other people hear that in what we're putting out there.
Looking ahead, the band faces the daunting task of refining their album, integrating insights from the public feedback while maintaining the essence of their music. Stay tuned for the next episode of Finding Our Rhythm, where we dive into the final episode of what's next for the band.
Skate to the places I run.